Hey, what's up everybody? Prospector here with Watcher Realms. In this video here, we're gonna go over how to build every single limited exclusive hero that there is. Step by step, one by one. But anyways, without further ado, let's dig in. Alright, so going over this right now, the reason that I'm doing this now is because we just had an exclusive lucky pick banner at the time of making this video. At this point in time, we have Diaochan, Kigiri, Wukong, Gwendolyn, Falcia, Lust, Moriden, Captain Reve, Dahlia, and Anora. Now I want to kind of go over like how you should build every single hero and the whys as well. Okay. Now you can go to the website if you want to go and you want to see them. I do have their actual gear sets and artifacts and everything you should be using for these heroes. But this can be a little bit more personalized by watching the video and having a different take. But anyways, if you go to prospector.gg, you click on hero guides on the top part here, and you come down to your filter and you can just select limited exclusives, or you can type in the exclusive's name and you can go ahead and open up that hero and check out the hero guide and see what I have in there. But anyways, now the first one we're gonna go over is Diaochan. So let me pull up the game. We're gonna get our Diaochan up here right now. There she is, Miss Diaochan. Very skimpy clothing, but you know, it is what it is. Anyways, so Diaochan is by far and most an inspiration unit. She's also gonna be putting out in Song of Sorrow. She has the ability to also add penetration increase to 2 allies with the highest attack and range. It can also be 3 if you awaken her to, I think it's a awaken level 3 here. And that's the whole reason that I actually have her awaken level 3. I targeted her to be awaken level 3 for that ability. But she also has inspiration. So in Serenade of Hope, increases attack by 2% every 2 seconds, reaches maximum after 20 seconds. These effects are removed when switching stances. But she has the ability here, I think it's right here, grants 25% inspiration to all allies in range. This increases everybody's attack within her range, and it's by 25% of her attack. So it just basically takes 25% of her attack and adds it onto theirs. Obviously that's huge. It's not going to be as high of an attack increase as like something like Dolores, but it is consistent, and for doing like boss damage, if you're decreasing defense or lowering the magic resistance of the enemy, it works excellent, because that boost stays there full time, and we've proven time and time again that having the 25% increased attack full time versus running like a Dolores strat and then pulling it Laurel in and out off the field and using up those spots for things like that, just having her on the field and just letting her have that 25% boost is also just better. Anyways, so on to her build. Because of that, we are going to go for a Wings of Grace bangle or Wings of Grace set on the right side, focusing purely on attack bonus, flat attack, HP bonus. You could go for attack speed and rage regen. Those would be the ideal stats on all 3 pieces. If you go for attack speed and rage regen, or attack speed and healing effect, you could switch her into defensive mode. I think it's called the Serenade of Hope. And in Serenade of Hope, she can do a little more healing. She does more defensive kind of things. So if you want to kind of have a little bit of that, go for it. But you do want to try to get her HP decently high. Right around 20-25k works. And at the awaken level 3, shooting for 15.5k higher, or 14.5k if you're at awaken level 1. Okay, awaken level 2 gives you a higher base attack. So with that being said, all these pieces are the same. You just want to shoot for Wings of Grace, and you want to have that attack bonus, HP bonus, attack speed, rage regen, healing effect, along those lines. Now on the left side, for that same reason, you want to go for a Warlord or Calamity set, shooting for really high attack bonus and the same kind of stats on each one. Try to pick up some HP percentage if you can. If you want to have some rage regen, you want to flip her back and forth, you add some rage regen in there as well. But priority is going to be your attack bonus and flat attack. That's all she really needs. She doesn't need to be fast. She doesn't need to be doing anything else if you're using her for inspiration unit. Otherwise, you can just build her out like another healer. All right, so let's go on to the next unit. We're gonna go shoot for Kigiri. Kigiri is a very interesting subject, actually, as far as building him. Could be either complicated or not. But in reality, it's not too complicated. You just want to go for a Soulbound Arcana set. And I like to go for pretty high crit damage. The reason I do crit damage set on the right side and then run Wicked Vengeance on the left. Is first off, you can get like these kind of pieces, quad rolls, out of your Wicked Vengeance. Otherwise, you can run Warlord or Calamity or Annihilating Might. But if you run Warlord, run an extra crit damage piece. The reason I go for these kind of sets is one, you get the added attack speed to the weapon and the breastplate, and then number two, his base attack is at 6770. And now damage works in a formula like attack minus enemy defense, and then what you have left is your attack that you get to work with, add in crit damage, and then add in your multipliers, okay? So it's really easier to get to a higher attack. So you can actually sacrifice for a little more crit damage because it's easier to get past the enemy defenses with your initial attack boost, okay? So I do technically like to go with 2 crit damage pieces on the right side, but you can, if you don't have enough stats for that, or your pieces aren't just all quad rolls like this, go ahead and shoot for 2 attack percentage and 1 crit damage. Soulbound Arcana, Wicked Vengeance on the left side, attack speed, crit rate, crit damage, attack bonus, and then if you can't get that, then go for a crit rate, crit damage, attack bonus, and fight attack. If you can't get Wicked Vengeance, go for a Warlord and try to focus a little bit more on crit damage on the right side. Alright, so next one. Wukong. Wukong is, you'd think he'd be almost the same, and he is very similar. I'll give him that. He's very similar to Kigiri, but at the same time, he's very much different. So I'm gonna go ahead and grab my gear set that I have on him normally. Just because I'm apparently ill-prepared for this video. Alright, Wukong, or Abyss 1. Now you're going to notice something right away. His rage regen is really high. Now, unless you're going up against a really high defensive opponent, you typically going to want his rage really high, especially if you have him awakened level 5, because all of his damage, for the most part, is going to come from that ultimate. It's going to do damage in between, but unlike Kigiri, he's not going to do like a random sweeping strike or Ember Strike. He's just going to do it during his ultimate, and it can come back very fast. So I do have his attack right around 24k still. We have his crit damage at 370, so you can see I kind of run a little bit lower than Kigiri. Usually Kigiri's up in the 400s. 350% crit damage, and then really get that rage regen nice and high. But you want to make sure you're still getting over like 22k attack at the end of the day. So just build up his rage, make him nice and fast, 1.4 to 1.5 second attack interval. And make sure you have his exclusive artifact on. It's definitely better for him. Same thing with Kigiri. That's about it. Soulbound Arcana on the right side, Wicked Vengeance on the left side. If you don't have Wicked Vengeance or Wicked Vengeance pieces like this, just go ahead and go for a Warlord set. That's going to be your next best bet. And then if you can't have that, then Calamity, Annihilating Might, etc, etc. But the stats you want to shoot for is a nice 60% or higher rage regen. But make sure you get that attack up over 20k or 22k in that range first. All right. From Wukong, let's move on to the next one. We have Gwendolyn, and I just pulled Gwendolyn. So actually, I'm going to have to read her kit out a little bit because I haven't actually used her. But she does have a lot of her. She's HP based, so she has HP based shields. I do know that. I do know that her shields can depend a little bit on healing effect. So what we're going to go ahead and do is we're going to focus on Wings of Grace. Same reason you would for any other healer or support unit. You can go for Wings of Grace, you can go for Morale, you can go for an Invigoration set. Those are going to be your top sets on the right side. And on the left side, you can go for, I want to say, Light's Grace or Salvation. Or, optionally, you can go for like a Whirlwind set, make her nice and fast. But either way, you want to shoot her HP really nice and high. You want to get her rage regen nice and high as well, 50% or higher. Then you want to have her healing effect right around the 120 range. Don't go crazy with the healing effect, but if you want to, on the right side here, you can actually pick one of these pieces and maybe use one of those healing effects because as a main stat, because she does actually have abilities in here that, let me see where it is. There's a bunch. The shield strength, a lot of the shield strength is dependent on the healing effect stat. Of course, it's also dependent on her HP as well. So yeah, that's what I'm going to say for Gwendolyn. A lot of people aren't using her, but that's just how I would suggest to build her as far as I know. Falcia is going to be a similar situation. I'm going to go ahead and skip her and say that you're going to build her the same way that you would build a Wukong, okay? Just make sure her attack's really nice and high. Make sure her crit damage is nice and high. Lust. Let's go check out our Lust. My Lust has not been used. She's been in retirement for quite some time now. Unfortunately, she is a great unit, and she is still really strong, but Wukong and Kigiri kind of just kicked Arrogance and Lust off the meta as far as boss content goes. Infernal Roar is the set you're going to go with. You're going to try to get her attack up to right around 16.5 to 18.5. I see that she's missing a piece there. So, but still, this is what you're going to want to be shooting for. These stats are not really that relevant, by the way, because her gear that she's wearing is just random. Anyways, so you want to go for like a 16.5 to an 18.5 or higher, and then start shooting for some crit damage. Get her crit damage right around 350 to 380% crit damage. And then her attack speed, you want to have it to a 1.4 to 1.5 second attack interval. Her artifact is going to be best with hers, of course, at level 25 you can get it. Other options, I would say, let me lock that up there. Other options that'd be good, I think, would be a Shattered Hilt, would be a really good option. And that's gonna be probably about it, unless you go with like a Scarlet Hunt and you have a bleed hero on the team. I think her bond skill actually just unlocks burning, not bleed. All right, so yeah, you want to go for a Scarlet Hunt or her artifact. On the left side, go for a Warlord or Wicked Vengeance, attack speed, crit rate, crit damage. For Wicked Vengeance, priority is going to be attack percentage over attack speed. So attack percentage, crit rate, crit damage, attack speed, in that order, okay? That's going to be the sets that you want to go for. You do want to keep her nice and fast. You do want to keep her attack really nice and high, but you also want to have her crit damage high enough that she can do some decent damage, right? Now the other one, we're going to go for Moriden. Most of you should have Moriden at the release of this video, or if you're watching it later on, yeah, it's going to be the same thing. You can go for Infernal Roar. It's going to be very similar. He has a nice high attack of 5,700. Getting his attack pretty high isn't that difficult. So if I switch him into, hold on a second, let me switch him into Kigiri's build, and it's going to probably be just about the same, except Infernal Roar works really well, okay? So we're going to go for Kigiri's, and that's going to put him at 21.4k attack and 383% crit damage, 1.4 second attack interval. And yeah, that's going to be about what you're going to want to shoot for. If you want him to turn around and go into his other stance so he's charging up much faster, build up some more rage regen than 26%, bring it up to about 50 if you can, his exclusive artifact is going to be the best. Same scenario, Wicked Vengeance, and for that attack speed, crit rate, crit damage, and attack bonus. On the breastplate, you do want to shoot for attack bonus, crit rate, crit damage, and then flight attack if you can get it. It just helps him as far as hard as he hits. Works well with his kit. Infernal Roar, Soul Arcana, both work equally fine depending on your gear. Whichever one is going to get you the highest attack and crit damage and rage regen balance that you can get. Anyways, that's it for Moriden. Let's move on to the next one. Captain Reve. I think he's actually a defender. I have him showing there as a fighter on my website. I'm going to have to fix that. I keep doing those kind of things. Let's go ahead and find our Captain Reve. I think he's a cultist faction unit. Where are you, buddy? He's got a weird skin on, I know that. Alright, so yeah, he is a defender. I don't know why I have him as a fighter. It's just the image anyways. So you're going to shoot for the same thing that you would shoot for if you're going for damage. So if you're going to be putting him in some AoE content where he's going to be vulnerable, you just want to make sure that you have attack percentage. Let me see here. You have, it's a terrible build that's on him right now. Let us find a better build here. Sorry about this. There you go. We're not going to be using this exact build, but I would do this kind of piece, drop the rage regen, and then fill it with HP percentage. Get his HP nice and high. He does a lot of tanking, so he might be at the front lines. He does do a ton of damage, and you can also build him if you wanted to in something like a defender. So if I go and find my broke here, I put this gear on him as well, we can go like this as an option. So we can really pump up that HP because his HP is really nice and high. And they can get him over 122.6k HP just by putting Brokir set on him, which is about the same as Brokir, right? Defense is 7,800. You can build him like this if you would like. This will have him come around. He does have really good control in his ultimate. A lot of stuns going out, so you can use him in the Conqueror Codex. You can use him in the Hellfire Codex. Those are all really good. You put him in the Conqueror Codex, build him for damage. You put him in the Hellfire Codex, you're gonna have to build him as a tank. And of course, you want to run his artifact if you can. If you can't, going with a Bastion Ring is going to work really well. And I think after that, something like a tuning crystal, or there is the option of a cadaver dagger, sorry, is also a really good option, okay? So that about sums up how to build and use Captain Reve, honestly. He's underrated hero, one of the most underrated heroes, or limited exclusive heroes there is. He's actually a very, very powerful unit. I think he gets slept on quite a bit. Let's move on here. So we have Dahlia. Dahlia is going to be your typical mage build. So she's right here, not wearing anything. So I'm going to build her right in front of you as I would, okay? So we're going to go for Sylvan Arcana. We're going to go attack percentage. We're going to go for rage regen as the extra piece here. So like this, it's pretty much going to be Kigiri's build. Build her a lot of rage so her ult comes back and she does a lot more of those poison blossoms. Then we're going to go for the warlord here instead of wicked vengeance. So warlord attack percentage, crit rate, crit damage, and then flat attack on warlord. Pieces like this, building up her attack really nice and high to help with those poisons. For the weapon, you can go for HP percentage, or if you have some kind of crazy piece that can help her out with some rage or I don't know, attack speed or something like that, you can use that as well. For her artifact, her Orb of Ruin increases attack by 10%, which is great. The only other thing that she could use that'd be better would be something like a Tear of Twilight, right? In this case, when she triggers a talent, there's a 40% chance to generate a Mutated Blossom of 1 or 2 instead. Mutated Blossoms, 1 additional effect deals 50% damage per second, and the Mutated Blossom 2 additional effect reduces the effect duration to 5 seconds. When the effect duration ends, explodes and deals 300% AoE damage. So you definitely want to use the Orb of Ruin. I think that the attack percentage increases to about 20%. If you're not sure about something along those lines, you can also just come over to prospector.gg. I have all the artifacts in here. You can search for the Orb of Ruin, and you can see exactly how this thing levels up as you go through it. So yes, it's going to go up to a 20%. So that is how I would literally build my Dahlia if I was using her. Unfortunately, I'm just not really a big fan because of this attack range. So she has the tile she's sitting on, and she has like a straight line, right? Those blossoms and stuff that she plants down there do damage, but the amount of opportunity that you have to place a unit on a platform and then have like a whole line of ground tiles in front of her is so niche and so rare that it's hard to justify even bothering with her. But there is scenarios where she does come out really well. Anyways, on to the next hero. We have one more, Anora. You made it this long. I am completely shocked. So Anora is a really good unit. So she is a mage that I use quite often, actually. I love using Anora. She has her little dragon there, and this is her skin as well, and I just love the skin as well. So one of the best summoning sessions I've ever had. If you haven't seen it, just search for Prospector Anora summoning session live and watch the VOD for it, because I think I pulled like 2 or 3 of them on the same 10 pole. It was insane how well it went. My first one did not go as well. Anyways, Infernal Roar is unarguably the best way to go. The reason that is because of her dragon that she summons. Where does it go here? When deployed, summons Labor. The hero on Labor permanently gains Sanctity, immune to most buffs and debuffs, so she can't get any buffs or debuffs. Upon the death of an allied summon, Labor gains 1 stack of Ancient Spirit, stacking up to 6 times. Anyways, the whole idea of using Infernal Roar is when you summon her on the battlefield, Labor inherits the whatever booster to damage that your gear set has at the time. So if you're running Sylvan Arcana and then you decide to do like 5 stacks, well, Labor is only gonna get that first. Well, I think he actually gets like a 0% boost to his damage by using Sylvan Arcana. It might be 0 to 10%, but you can't get any higher. But with Infernal Roar, all Labor's attacks are basic attacks, and he gets that full 40% boost, so it's unarguably the way to go. Also, because she cannot receive any buffs like Inspiration, the way you want to go for the main stat all across the board is going to be attack percentage. Attack percentage, attack speed, crit rate, crit damage, and then whatever you can get. You can get flat attack here is probably going to be your best bet, or rage regen. So you're going to go flat attack or rage regen as the 4 substat. This is all of the pieces, okay? On the Warlord side, you're still gonna go for a Warlord because you're gonna want to have that attack percentage boost, unless you're dropping the magic resistance of the enemy's waves coming in some kind of way. Then you could probably go for like a Wicked Vengeance quad rolls if you wanted. Otherwise, Warlord, attack percentage, crit rate, crit damage across the board on both pieces. Pick up some HP if you need to. This is going to be the best way to build her for almost all scenarios. It's going to be GVG, AoE content like Gear Raid 1, all that stuff. If you need more HP on Gear Raid 1 and the later stages to keep her alive, give her some more HP to get that done. But anyways, with this build, I think I have her in triple attack percentage, and her pieces here are pretty decent, except if she was more fight attack here. This build is putting her right around 1.8k attack. You do want to focus a lot more on attack with this hero because, you just, like I said, you can't get inspiration. As for the artifact, Scepter of Impiety is going to be the way to go. If you don't have that, man, I have none of these locked. If you do not have that, go ahead and go with a Tear of Twilight, even if it's level 10. After that, you can go for something like a, where is it here? White Tower Trinket brings you up to 18% level 25. That'd be the next best one. Whatever you can do to get her attack higher in her stats. But anyways, guys, I think that's all I have for today's video. I thought it'd be a good idea since everybody's like trying to pull exclusive heroes, and there's no heroes that are specific. Most people are trying to go for Kigiri, Diaochan, or Wukong, but some people might be going for some other heroes and trying to fill the roster. And I thought this would be a good idea to go over to tell you just how to build every single exclusive hero. Anyways, that's all I have for today's video. Don't forget to check out prospector.gg. Get signed up. We have added the My Heroes selection to the hero pool here. Let me get this off of here. So if you want to just check out and see what heroes you have, you can do that. If you want to build your teams, add debuffs. Say if you want to find a hero that has defense down, like, well, I want it to be a Piercer hero that has defense down that's on my roster. Then you have these two heroes here that it's going to show you what you have. It's very useful. All you have to do is create yourself an account, come over to My Heroes, and then you can add your heroes to your roster right in here. So let's say I wanted to add Draylen. I could just click on Draylen, choose the Awakening, and then you can just basically filter based off of that. Anyways, guys, that's all I have for today's video. I hope you found it helpful. If you did, don't forget to like and subscribe. Don't forget to check out Discord. Don't forget to follow over on Twitch. I've been the Prospector. Thanks for tuning in, and until next time, keep digging.